we're going to work on changing improper fractions to mixed fractions. Okay, to start, and then we're going to do vice versa. We're going to go mixed to improper. Whoops, those are the words. Okay, so right now we're in an improper fraction, and all that means is the number on top is smaller than the number on bottom. The numerator is larger than the denominator in this case. To change this, we have to read this and essentially use our long division we would have learned back in elementary school. This question states 10, this line means divided by the value of 3. Now that can sometimes be hard to put as a division question, because what ends up happening is what it means is we need to have 10 divided by 3. Now when we say things, usually you would think left to right, oh, 3 divided by 10, but that's not how you would say this. Say this question, this would say 10 divided by 3, which is a little opposite to how we're used to reading things. Okay, so let's try not to mix that up. When we're dividing, the number on the bottom goes to the outside of the division sign. So when we go to divide this, we have to figure out how many times does 3 go into the value of 10. How many times does 3 go into 10? 3 times. Which means what value do we have to subtract by? 9, that's right. We do 3 times 3, which will give us 9. 10 subtract 9 gives us 1. So the remainder in this question is the value of 1. So to change this into a mixed fraction, I'm going to change the colors of a few things. 3, 3, and 1. Okay? We're going to make the whole numbers red, the denominator is blue, and the remainder is green. Okay?
Red looks black.
I know it does there, but when you go to watch this on a good computer, it'll turn out right. So, our whole number is the value of 3. Our denominator in blue is the 3 that we divided by, and a remainder is the number 1, ends up on top. Okay? So we have 3 and 1/3. That's a mixed fraction. These two fractions here are technically equivalent. 10 over 3 is the same as writing 3 and 1/3. They're the exact same thing. It's just we move between forms to make things simpler for ourselves. So same idea with the next question. If I'm going to set this up, what number goes underneath? 7, that's right. So we divide by
2.
Great. How many times does 2 go into 7? 3, that's right. That's all right. You're just thinking of the other number. What do we subtract by, Chris? What are we going to subtract by then? That's right. Will give us remainder of? Okay.
Again.
Okay. So again, very similar. What's going to be our whole number here?
2.
3 is going to be our whole number. What's going to be the denominator?
2.
2. And the numerator?
1.
1, that's right. Always remember that when we're changing from an improper to a mix or back, the denominator stays the same. This value never changes. We have a 3 and a 3, a 2 and a 2, which means we're going to have what here? We're going to have a 1. Now, without dividing, does anyone know what this is going to be as a whole number? 8, that's right. 8 divided by 1 is just the value of 8. Okay? So that's it, we're done. That's that as a mixed fraction. It's just the value of 8. Now what I want to do is the opposite. I want to go the other route now. I want to turn this into an improper fraction. And there's a couple ways we can think of this. I'm going to show you 2 different ways. One that deals with adding fractions, and another that's kind of like a shortcut. You just have to remember a process. Okay, really what this says, we'll use some lines to separate this. I'm going to show you 2 methods, one in purple, one in red.
Maybe it'll look black.
I know this looks like black. When I go to right, hopefully they are a little different. So this one is red, but it'll show up to you guys as well. The red version, I want you to think of this really says the value of 3 plus 1/3. Okay? Now I want to make this whole number a fraction. How do I make that mixed number, that 3, a fraction? What do I do?
Excuse me, everyone.
Hold on.
For the instructions, it's very...
Okay, so if we want to change this whole number into a fraction, we actually put it over 1. So now we're going to work on some adding of fractions. Can I add these 2 values? No. Why not? Denominator is not the same. So how do I change this denominator to be the same as the one before? What do we have to multiply by? Yes, we're going to have to multiply both the top and the bottom by 3, which is going to give us 9 over 3 plus 1 over 3. So what is our improper fraction going to be? Is that what we originally started with? That's exactly it. So we've moved back. Now, there is another way to do this, which many of you guys are probably more used to. It's going to come up as purple in your notes. We take the value of 3 1/3, okay, and we're going to multiply the whole number and the denominator. Now, know right away that our denominator is going to be 3. We've already established that. Our denominator will never change. So when I do 3 times 3, what will we get?
9.
That's right. Oops. Will give us 9. And then I got to take the numerator and add 9 to it. So what is 9 plus 1 going to be? 10. And that's the number that goes on top. It's 10. Okay, so if you're more used to it that way, that's fine. We're going to repeat this process again. This time we're going to start with that one. So in this question here, we have 3 1/2. We know the denominator is 2, so our answer is going to be over 2. We're going to multiply the whole number by the denominator. What is 3 times 2?
6.
That's right. We take that 6 and we add it to the numerator.
1.
6 plus 1 is?
7.
So our improper fraction reads
7.
7 over 2. Now I do want to do this the addition way also. So if we were to go 3 plus 1/2, how do I make 3 an improper fraction? 3 over 1. And then we need a common denominator. So what will this common denominator be, or what will the new fraction be?
6 over 2.
That's right. We have to multiply it by 2 to have the same denominator. And then when we add those together, what are we going to get? 7 over 2. The same as the one before. Either is fine. If you're more used to one, do that. If you like the other, do the other one. I don't care which way you do it. I just want to make sure you know how to do it. And finally, the last one. 8. How do I turn that into improper fraction? How do I turn 8 into an improper fraction? 8 over? That's it. There's really no other way to do it. You put it over 1. Improper fraction. Okay? Good job.